you'll begin to take the action steps towards creating those things that you want, because we all want to be able to fuel our passions, fuel our desires. Good afternoon and welcome to Nothing But Good News Radio. This is your host, Candy G. Imagination. Our imagination is one of the most powerful tools that we can use. There's actually an alchemical response that goes on inside the brain when we use our incredible power of being able to image what it is that we want. Albert Einstein says that imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. He also says that imagination is more important than knowledge. Wallace Wattles, who wrote The Science of Getting Rich, he also wrote the book The Secret to Financial Success, with the subtitle Harnessing the Power of Creative Thought. Wallace Wattles says there is this thinking stuff which permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. And when you apply a thought to this thinking stuff, that you cause the thing that you think about to be created. Within our imagination, when we're using the incredible powers of our imagination to form our future, to form our vision and the things that we want to create, there is an incredible principle called the law of as if. And the law of as if says, imagine something as if it's already come to pass. Imagine your desires fulfilled with all the sensory vividness of reality. So much so that you can feel it. Because when you can feel it, you emit DNA out into the creative universe that begins to shape what's going on out here. It's fascinating. There was a study that I read that talked about human DNA and human DNA from emotion, and that they've actually tracked that when we are in any kind of an emotion, well, that's good or bad, that we emit DNA, and they've tracked for hundreds and hundreds of miles. Think about that person that you were thinking about, and then they called you. Coincidence? Or is that you emitting your DNA out into the universe based on what you were thinking or feeling? You see, when we think and feel, they're so intimately connected. Our thoughts affect our feelings, and our feelings affect our thoughts. Well, I thought about that study about emitting DNA when we're in any kind of an emotional state. And I read another study where they were studying quantum particles from which all things are made of. And scientists put them into a container. And they did what they expected them to do. The particles scattered. And then inside that same container, they dropped in one molecule of human DNA. And it began to take form. Wow. So the scientists went in and they took that molecule of DNA out, expecting it once again to scatter. But instead, the form remained. The conclusion is that human DNA shapes our outside world. When we're in emotion, we're emitting DNA that also helps to shape our outside world. Wow, it's incredible when you think about it. So, if you can take the time to be in your imagination, to stay focused on those things that you want to create with powerful, dynamic pictures and imagery, so much so that it delights you, it taps into your passion and fuels your desires, two things will happen. You'll emit that DNA that will begin to shape your outside world, but not only that, you'll begin to take the action steps towards creating those things that you want, because we all want to be able to fuel our passions, fuel our desires. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Put your imagination to work and create something amazing.